Ugly, ugly, ugly. You mean to tell me one of the biggest call outs in the RICO paperwork and the indictment paperwork of Big U, that victim one that was in there that was going through all that extortion and getting robbed? And you mean to tell me he did an interview? So if this man is speaking out to the public doing interviews, imagine what's happening behind the scenes. You guys can determine later on if you guys want to classify that as snitching, because allegedly the man has an extensive criminal record as well, and then he got grabbed up on something, and that's when he started cooperating against people like Big U. So y'all could, put y'all stamps or y'all determinations on that however y'all choose. And I will say allegedly, but we're going to bring it up. We're gonna listen to it. We're gonna listen to this man speaking out on Big U and his situation. And once again, allegedly, he is victim one in the paperwork. And if you watched our paperwork read of the Big U RICO indictment, victim one is all through that. It's like the Diddy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like victim one is like all through, and it's like, damn, that whoever that is, i.e., allegedly Cassie, that is one of the biggest witnesses. Same thing that's happening right here. We'll get there. Diddy, he got a third superseding indictment. We're going to bring up a video to see what's new in his indictment now, what new allegations and charges are being brought his way. And we're real close to his trial starting. It's like a month away or something like that, right? So for him to be getting new charges right now, yeah, that's spooky. Bricc Baby. Bricc Baby's paperwork. I finally went through his entire docket, and I'm going to bring up one of the pieces of his paperwork. We're going to answer the question, is Bricc Baby snitching or not? Okay. And I got a bunch of other stuff like y'all see in my title and more. I got more stuff coming up. And then even towards the end, outside of like our regular topics, I got some fun stuff I want to do for the chat real quick. I want to talk about an album real quick for my hip hop heads, and I want to ask y'all a movie question for my movie heads. Okay. So that's the intro. Remember, anybody that either catches these streams when they're done, if you want to skip to a topic, I'm always shortly after the streams are done going to get the chapters in for you. So just go into the description box and you will see the chapters for each topic. I got y'all after every stream. Just give me a few by the time the lives end, and I got everything chronicled for y'all. Okay, so you can find whatever you're looking for. Okay. What else, real quick, before we get into the first topic? Hitman Holla versus Miss Hustle is going down today. Okay, I believe he posted that the schedule for the pay-per-view, the first battle, is going to start at 3 p.m. Nice, solid, strong, right to the punch type of card. 4 battles. You got the Vixen versus Twerk on there. You got the E Heart versus Shotgun Sugar on there, and Hitman and Miss Hustle. They just turned into like a grudge match, like more so off of the promo side and more on the serious side. Like you saw yesterday, they was going back and forth. That wasn't promo, people. They really got into it real quick. Hustle was pissed off for her reasons. Holla was pissed off for his reasons. I would assume right now that they're not even talking. You know what I'm saying? They're probably just coordinating everything through the boss, and they're just going to pop up on stage and take it all out on each other round for round. So you can't buy promotion like that when it's real. You know what I'm saying? So tune in today, 3 p.m. I'm going to try to come on stream right after the event to talk about the event. So we'll get to that. And last quick update. The checks and balances group chat is still being formulated. I got about 5 or 6 people that have consistently been sending me good news updates. And they also told me on IG that they want to be placed in that group. It's going to be an IG group chat where we're going to once again coordinate the news together, so that I'm not going over the same thing in 30 different DMs. You know what I'm saying? We're going to consolidate that. We're going to hold each other down. We're going to be checks and balances with each other. You know what I'm saying? So once again, if you missed that update in yesterday's stream, DM me if you're interested. But yeah, I'm probably going to try to put the group together before the weekend is over. Okay. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's work. All right. So this alleged victim one from Big U's paperwork, let's see what he's saying now that he's speaking out. And shout out to this is who again? Oh yeah, Get It Radio. Yeah, I'm subscribed to them. You know, they do a lot of Clubhouse stuff, but shout out to them for the content. All right, let's listen in.
For years, defendant Henley extorted victim one, a music and club promoter who transitioned into a partnership with the unlicensed marijuana dispensary located in Los Angeles for up to $25,000 per month in extortion fees until victim one started to ignore defendant Henley's calls. On July 5th, 2021, when victim one had been ignoring defendant Henley's calls demanding extortion payments, defendant Robinson, Big U Enterprise member and self-proclaimed Rolling 60s member Tremaine Ashley Williams, aka Loose Cannon, and approximately 9 other individuals, all acting at defendant Henley's direction, traveled to the dispensary and committed a robbery. Victim one's real name is Dale Morrison, aka Monster Man. I'm pretty sure y'all done heard his name before. This is the dude that Big U was extorting so much that he ran out of money and had to start getting the extortion payments directly from the feds because he was already cooperating because he had been caught a previous case. Well, he's speaking out.
Is there proof of that? That he he started getting paid by the feds? That's a tie-in that I'm gonna be able to use when we get to Bricc Baby's topic. Stay with me.
In an interview, speaking about Big U, speaking about his situation, and speaking about his thoughts around the whole situation, man. Check this out.
I do want to say that I do have a story. I do have a side. You know, people are paying people $200, $300 to tell them things about me. Not a lot of this stuff is true, and I can't wait to tell my side. As far as Loose Cannon, I don't think he works for the police. I don't think he's telling. I think he's lost in the sauce, kind of. I think he wants the celebrity, he wants the clout and stuff like that. I do think he might end up telling because of what Big U has done to him too.
He already took the proffer agreement. He already took a proffer. I just put it up there.
Oh, okay.
So he's definitely telling.
Yeah.
I just put the proffer.
You know, a lot of times, right? You know, a reflection of what.
We ain't rushing, right? Let me look that up. I don't really know what a proffer agreement is. Hold on. A proffer agreement is a written agreement between a federal prosecutor and an individual under criminal investigation, allowing the individual to provide information about a crime with some protection against prosecution. But the government can still use the information for impeachment or to pursue leads. Whoa. Yeah, this is why I gotta hurry up and get this checks and balances chat together. There's a proffer agreement by Loose Cannon that's already out on the web. Better not be. Oh shit. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep track of that, please. Oh shit.
What happens to you through life is a reflection of what you've done through life. And I think that you know, when you look at, you know, even the Nipsey Hussle situation and you know what Nip and, you know, Big Man went through, it's like we're not dealing with one of the best peoples in the world. We're dealing with, you know, a lot of these people are pro-black only when it matters. Even one day I seen Loose Cannon on the show talking about, oh, yeah, you know, y'all niggas like Willie Lynch, y'all want me to get locked up and this and then that. But then, you know what I'm saying, you just can jump Marciano, bro. He's 60 years old. You took him off his clothes and like, you know, it's only pro-black sometimes. They're only community people sometimes. And nobody really knows these people. When you look at Nip contract, 10 years for 30%, you know that shit's fucking demonic, right? When a motherfucker doing something good in the hood and you want to chase him out and belittle him and shit like that, like, you know the type of person that, you know, you kind of dealing with, you know, some people tell me like, yo, D, keep your head up. That shit was gonna happen, you know, and no matter what. And you know, I just hate the fact that, you know, I'm a part of it, or I'm a part of it. But you know, why was I, you know, even in that situation? Even after the feds had got me, you know,
Oh shit! You see, he paused right there, stopped himself. Even after the feds had gotten me, and wow. I'm going to keep saying allegedly, but this seems to really be the victim one from the paperwork speaking publicly right now. This really does seem legitimate. Wow.
The people already know what it is, though, Dale. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know,
I don't think they know. They know what they're being told. And then here, remember, there's a complaint, and then there's an indictment, and then there's something stronger than even that, right?
Then again, and also, let me say this, even though we're staying on allegedly, I wonder if this is an all-out interview or if this is just a recorded phone call and somebody leaked them. Ooh.
So a lot of complaints and indictments are being pieced together to do and say certain things, and you know what I'm, you know, and then like I do respect this shit, and I do understand, like, the business part of it. I do know that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of this stuff is for, and like I said, I watch you, and I know the man that hooked us up. There's nobody more pro-black than this guy, you know what I'm saying, brother, sister type thing, and I respect him a lot. But just afford me some time to think, and maybe we can have a pre-discussion about, the agenda here. What are we trying to do? Because, everything should have a purpose to it, and a purpose to uplift our people. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I think about Big U and I think about Loose Cannon, and, there's anger and there's animosity and there's hurt and there's all of this shit involved in it. You know what I mean? I still know that as black people, we're still fucking products of our environment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think for me to win, you got to lose. And, that's a big problem. And that's what my brand, Everybody Eats, was always about. Like, we can all kind of survive the way you got 50 jewelers on the same block, but they can all get along. You know what I'm saying? It's not really dog eat dog. But some people are from a world where it's just dog eat dog. You know what I mean? And that's part of my agenda, that it ain't fucking got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? That a black man ain't got to step on another black man. The old niggas ain't got to step on the young niggas, like, to where they can't breathe. Like, this shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot that goes on. I think the biggest thing for me about how I ended up where I ended up is because it's like someone trying to break you, and then it works. I don't know if your girl, if you ever had a girlfriend or somebody that tried to get you mad, and then it actually works. And then, someone's trying to break you, and then I was fucking broken. And I'm not, I don't have the fire that I used to have, the ambition that I used to have. I don't have any.
I mean, when you're sitting there describing it the way he's describing it, and I mean, if he was in the life of crime, which everybody's putting on him, you tend not to have as much sympathy, but you want to be involved in certain people, and there's times when it's beneficial. And he says, I was broken. He says, I don't have the fire. I don't have the old ambition. And that's just the type of pressure. It starts off, once again, as I'm just saying allegedly now, right, of the things we see. It starts off as like, hey, DJ Khaled, I'm just hypothetically, people. What's up, man? Nice to meet you. Word is that you was in my hood and everything, shooting a music video, man. Hey, man, I just want to let you know, man, this is my area. You know what I'm saying? And I want to make sure that when you come around here, you safe. Yeah, I mean, so, hey, next time you come around here, man, hey, here's my number. Call me. Call me next time, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because, you see all these wolves lined up around here, man. Like, they be on it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I tell them go or chill out. You know what I'm saying? So next time, tap him. Oh, I didn't know, Big. Shout out. Appreciate you, Big. You, thank you for keeping the wolves at bay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, take my number. I got you. Cool. That be like step one. You know what I'm saying? Step two be like, hey, what's up, man? Yo, it's Big U, man. Hey, I got this artist that's on the come up, man. And I know you be in LA a lot. You know what I'm saying? I want to know if next time you come out here, man, you could produce something for my little homie. Yeah, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, it's just like, hey, man, yeah, I want to do this. I want to do that. Since you be in LA, and then you got to promote a guy like this who's outside. You can't do club promotion without being outside. You know what I'm saying? Without being accessible, without being in the mix, without being on the scene. It's a social type of job. You know what I'm saying? And other artists and other people might come through you for certain things, birthday parties, promotional parties, put this artist on, do this type of performance with this person, whatever. You become a conduit, right? For the good and bad. You see what I'm saying? And then eventually, somebody starts requesting money, i.e. extortion. And you be a part of the program when it benefits you. You be a part of the program when it doesn't benefit you. Was it Goodfellas when he went to dude, like in the movie Goodfellas, like, yo, my fucking my restaurant is going under financially. I want you to come in as a partner. At that moment, it benefited him. But you heard what he said in the narration. He said, okay, cool. Now you got the protection. You got the help. You got the overlook. You got the big dog that's got your back. But now you got to come up with the man's money every week. Right? You know what I'm saying? So there's pros in certain, and the next thing you know, 2-3 years turn around, you realize, like, wait a minute, I'm paying this motherfucker $10,000 a week for what? And you can't escape. And like he just said, eventually it broke me. You know what I'm saying? Shit, double meaning. Broke financially and broke my spirit as far as me being able to continue this shit and maintain. Like, what if I got myself into? Who am I dealing with? I just wanted to have a little hustle, make a little extra money on the side. Now I'm being bled dry. And it's just like, all right, now it's time to burn the restaurant down. There goes the Goodfella closeout reference for you.
Any of that thing, right? So yeah, man. I mean, there's people offering me $5,000, $10,000. I haven't really taken any of them, and you've already gotten, because I can't work no more. I can't be outside no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very tricky for me. It's very.
Why you can't work no more, be outside no more? Because it's known at this point, allegedly, if this is him, this is victim one from the paperwork, that he's telling. He's telling. You know what I'm saying? You start working with unless they put you under fucking witness protection. Hold on. That makes me think. I mean, there's multiple reasons to say I can't work anymore, right? To say I can't be outside anymore. Let me rationalize that and be separate. I can't work anymore. Why would people say I can't work anymore? I'm a felon, right? Or a lot of people that got ops, they don't want to work because you have a known location that you're going in and out of every fucking day, right? So it's just like, it's one of those two reasons for somebody to say, I can't work anymore. Either you feel like your record is preventing you from it, or just having a known fucking addy or spot that you at is dangerous for you. One or the other, right? Saying I can't be outside anymore. The only justification I have for that is, yeah, you feel like niggas might be on your heels. You know what I'm saying? I can't be outside anymore. And you're doing interviews or phone calls or talking to people like this. Yeah, like this is a dangerous situation, which then makes me ask, we've seen victim one in that paperwork so much for Big U. If this is true, if this is really the person from victim one, if this is he, damn, like if this is a big RICO indictment, like once you have him in federal witness protection, maybe he is right now for all we know. Maybe this interview is from fucking Arkansas witness protection little bunker for all we know. But if this is really he, this is an important person to this case, which also makes me think like the feds need to grab his ass. Like, what you doing interviews and all this type of shit? You might fuck around and say something that hurts us. Like, this is wild, man. The internet is so fucking wild. It is wild shit.
For me, it's for a lot of people, but
the people look at it like, what Big U did was foul. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know that you did what you did and it's foul because you was out there.
I can say
you did what you did.
Yeah, it's foul. It sucks. And it's a lot of foul things, and I'm not the only one that foul things happen to, and yeah.
He skated around that. Do you feel like because you was out there doing foul things as well? I'm not the only one that was out there doing foul. He skated around that. This seems like he. Wow.
And then as we go through what happened, there's a lot of people that this just happened to all across. I think, and for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, looking at this shit like, well, yeah, man. We'll talk.
That was victim number one, Dale Morrison, the person that's cooperating against Big U because Big U was extorting him, man. Listen, but he is not a.
And then he ends it with the we'll talk, man. And that's what makes me question, like, is this a known interview? And he's like, man, like, I don't want to go too in depth right now, or is this just a recorded phone call that somebody leaked on you? You know what I'm saying? And you got to expect that too. If I'm victim one in that paperwork, the whole internet wants to know who I am. I am a hot topic. I am a super hot fucking topic. And I can't speak with anybody without assuming that I might be getting recorded or my message might get repeated to somebody. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's insane. It's insane. The people that would allege like a Wack 100 that Big U is snitching, there's nothing in his paperwork that says he's telling, right? So let's answer that about Big U. Let's because we read it. I didn't see anything about Big U telling. To be honest, I don't predict any cooperation from Big U. There's too much on him. I think a Big U that got all these people coming forward doing interviews. They're using things from podcasts. You got other people indicted. Some of those people might be turning, you know, the ones that got a bond and whatnot. You never know under what context pre-contest they got a bond. It's just I think a Big U's got so much going on and so many people involved. What he might just be looking forward to is just like, hey, my lawyer isn't here to get me off. My lawyer is here to get me a best deal possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the best deal possible? So I don't see him cooperating. I just don't. If you want to accuse Big U of doing something, this is what you would accuse him of. I mean, outside of his charges, obviously, as far as snitching, you don't accuse him of telling on people. You just accuse him of dry snitching, right? On himself, or even worse, self-snitching, right? That's what you can accuse him of. And these are the examples of why people will continue to say that about the man.
My world. I'm just gonna keep you 100. And I wasn't on no money shit. Like other niggas was getting money. I was getting money and I was getting paid by every nigga in the city. Damn me. If they was getting money. Right. So if he was getting money, he was already getting the bag. He was paying me $10,000 a month. I don't give a fuck who you were. It was my world. I'm just gonna keep you 100. And I wasn't on no money shit. Like other niggas was getting money. I was getting money and I was getting paid by every nigga in the city. Damn me. If they was getting money. Right. So if he was getting money, he was already getting the bag. He was paying me $10,000 a month. I don't give a fuck who you were. It was my world. I'm just gonna keep you 100. And I wasn't on no money shit.
It was my world. 10,000 a month. Like, you know what is? I think people forget how much they say on the internet, and then you know, like when he recorded his video when he was on the way in, you know, he's frustrated as you should be. It's like, damn, like my house just got raided. Like there's a fucking arrest warrant out for me. It's like, yo, Wack 100 and 600, and these niggas talking, these bitch ass, they snitting, they doing this and that. Because you just don't remember, like for the last 5, 6, 7 years, you've been doing interviews and podcasts and live streams and posts, and you've said a lot of stuff. And then the internet helps the detective's office by going back and revisiting and saying, hey, remember 4 years ago when he said this on Drink Champs? Remember 5 years ago when he was on, when Wack 100 and Big U were still friends and they did an interview with Nick Cannon and Nick Cannon was talking about alleged extortion with them? Like, this is the internet. You know what I'm saying? So if right now, if you want to try to put any type of snitch labels on him, it doesn't seem like he's cooperating with the law enforcement at all. We did the paperwork read. You just have to say yourself incriminating is just what's out there. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of paperwork and incrimination, and let's answer the question now, or let's get into the question. Is Bricc Baby telling? Okay, let's get into the paperwork of him. So I went down, like I said earlier, his entire docket from the initial filing. What was it, like February 26th? Okay. This one right here, of all the documents that I read, I figured that I'd bring this one up with y'all. This one's very short, 5 pages. It builds some of the context of the point that I want to make. So let's take a look at it. United States of America versus plaintiff Zaire Mitchell. This is Bricc Baby. These are all his aliases. Bricc Baby, Big Shitty, MPA Shitro. I have no clue what that is. Shitty Montana. That's a funny one. Bricc Baby Shitro. Okay. Government's notice of request for detention. Okay. Now, plaintiff, United States of America, by and through its counsel of record, hereby requests detention of the defendant and gives notice of the following material factors. We don't need to read these because there's check boxes next to them and they're not checked. Okay, let's see what is checked. Number 2 is checked. Pre-trial detention requested because no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure, checkbox next to A, the appearance of the defendant as required. B is checked. Safety of any other person in the community. Okay. Those ones are checked off. Now we skip ahead to number 5, which is also selected. Government is entitled to detention hearing under this particular code if the case involves, okay, what's checked under involves. E is checked. Any felony not otherwise a crime of violence that involves a minor victim or the possession or use of a firearm or destructive device as defined in this particular code here, or any other dangerous weapon, or involves a failure to register under this particular code here. Then F is checked. Serious risk defendant willfully. Okay. Now, if we go down the rest of that, nothing else is checked after that. Signed at the bottom. Okay. Assistant United States Attorneys. Okay. That's to me, one of the most important pieces of paperwork that I saw on his entire docket that I read through this morning. There's all these documents on his full docket, and that one right there builds the point to me. So I hate that it's the civilian that enforces or follows the codes, y'all codes. They continue to say, do not call somebody a snitch unless there's black and white or there's paperwork. I did the same thing when we did the full read of Big Meech's paperwork. I was fair and I was honest, and I said, wait, this piece right here, this whole section about, because they're saying it's third-party cooperation, this piece right here with this girl and why she did this, and yeah, it's odd. And if I was involved in any of them people, or if I was Cuffy sitting up right now, I would probably be having my third eye on as well, right? But there's still nothing clearly that says the man told or cooperated or is an informant, or it's not there. It's the same thing on Bricc Baby's docket. You know what this looks like to me? This was filed February 26th. That's when his docket started, right? We know that he had this prior case with the AK, right? And we went through the prior paperwork where we saw all the laid out different types of guns and ammunition that was recovered in his house and all that. He's already a convicted felon, not supposed to have this stuff or whatever. He made his way outside. Doesn't say that he cooperated to make his way outside. He got a bond, he got a bail, and he had a trial date that was pending. Okay, I don't think trial date set. I didn't see any trial dates that was set. Trial date pending. Okay, there's people walking around right now free. Well, I shouldn't say free. Outside with charges on them. You know, it's that invisible leash. Okay, it's February 26th. This gets filed. All right, they got picked up. Loose Cannon, Big U, and Bricc Baby. It was like 2 weeks ago, right? This is like mid-March that they all got picked up. You saw the paperwork said, we have reason to believe that he may flee or he may still be a danger to the community. And he has this previous firearm stuff. So what the paperwork says, and if we just try to put rationale to it, you know what it looks like? It looks like the same way they did Loose Cannon, the same way they did Big U, the same way they did Little Dirk, the same way they did a lot of people when the feds is involved, right? Let me walk a little bit slower for a second. If I go outside right now and I go to my neighbor's house and I throw a brick through the window and they call the cops. Cops show up and they tell the cops, my neighbor, you know, he just rolled over here for no reason and threw a brick through our fucking window. And then he walked away screaming, brick by brick, bitch. Like, if you ever hear that, people are gonna think like, oh, LP did that shit. And he walked away screaming, brick by brick, bitch. You know what I'm saying? The cops are gonna come. They're gonna try to see if they could. They won't even have an arrest warrant, right? They'll come knock on my door, right? If I do answer the door, if I do come to the door, they'll question me. If they can get me out of the door, have probable cause, they will probably try to detain me. I might be arrested, right? That's cop shit. That's phone call, brick through the window shit. Feds take months and sometimes years to put their shit together. This is why the Little Dirks of the world are out there working, doing concerts, doing shows. And then when the indictment comes down for the Quando Rondo relate cousin shooting, Lil Tim, then we also get this shit from a year prior that was unsealed to us about a retaliation shooting related to D-Thing, his brother. Like, the feds have been there for over a year. Same thing with Big U. Paperwork goes back how far? Same thing with Loose Cannon. Same thing with Bricc Baby. They leave these people out there as long as possible to develop as much of the case, incriminate themselves, incriminate other people, commit more crimes, make my case stronger. I'm watching you. I'm following you. I got your room tapped. I got yourself in Big U's paperwork. We got your cell phones tapped. Bricc Baby shit was tapped too. It's in his paperwork. Bricc Baby's phones was tapped too. This is the feds. This isn't the local police department that's responding to the brick by brick bitch. This is the feds. Go run along with the invisible leash and get on No Jumper podcast and tell me about your crimes. I'm gonna watch, and it's in the paperwork. The loose cannon talking about, yeah, so you know, if we go do some shit and take some money from niggas, and then we get back to the house to break it down, and then the nigga that we took it from is actually he's there too. That scenario is in the paperwork. They're saying loose cannon, as he said on the podcast. It's in the paperwork. So they're gonna let you sit out there and talk and continue to break laws. Oh, Bricc Baby, what was this right here? Where you flashed the gun on camera? Oh, another gun. Shit, you're out right now pending trial for all the shit that we already grabbed from your house, and there goes another gun on camera, huh? It's a lot, but that's what the feds will do. They'll let you sit out there and keep running around. And when they come and then they finally, in discovery, give your lawyer your fucking paperwork, he's like, oh shit, they've been tapping my phone for 5 years? Damn, I was blaming Wack 100 for this shit. No. They've been watching you and following you and recording you and bugging you and picturing all this shit for years. It's the fucking feds. So that's what it looks like to me for Bricc Baby. When we read down his whole fucking docket and we pull up that paperwork right there, they just felt now it's time. They filed it. And when I went through the docket this morning, I read through the process. I was like, damn, this shit is wild how they do it. They start the motion paperwork behind the scenes where it's like, all right, it's like mid-February. And it's like, all right, we filed this. Hey, we have this guy out there, Zaire Mitchell, whatever. We want to pick him up. And they start getting all the okays behind the scenes. Goes to the judge and this and boom, 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 boom. And then fast forward a month later when they felt it was time, all the paperwork is already done, right? Nobody's out here trying to pull a Alonzo from Training Day and wave a fucking Chinese menu in the door and act like it's a warrant. No. They went through the paperwork and the process behind the scenes a month prior, getting the warrant and all this shit situated, ready to go. And when it was time, they said, let's go. They let him sit out there and he just continued to incriminate himself and allegedly break more laws and strengthen their case. And that's what they did. And another thing, too, is just like, all right, the timing of Big U. Yeah, we could have been investigating you for over a year. But yeah, Wack 100 put out that the DNA came back to the internet. We're not going to pick up loose cannon and Bricc Baby and just assume that you're going to still sit there. You're probably going to scratch your head and say, maybe I should get the fuck on. And you saw, we just read it. They said they think that Bricc Baby is also at risk of fleeing. That's just how people be feeling sometimes. Like, the way he just said on yesterday's podcast, he knows that we're around a little bit. Or the way he's talking right there, he's being coded. He might know, he might be on to us or whatever. That's what it is, okay? So y'all code of the streets is no paperwork, no snitching. And his paperwork shows no telling. It actually shows we're on you. We let you out for these guns. But while you're still pending trial for that, go ahead, because we know that we can tie you into way more than these fucking guns. We can tie you into all types of shit. Go ahead and run along outside for a little bit. We got you when we want you, but we just want more. That's how they work. That's how they operate. It's not the brick by brick, bitch. It's not that, okay? So just like I did just now with Big U to close out his piece, let's do it again with Bricc Baby. Stop accusing him until we get paperwork of being a snitch. If you want to accuse him of something, say, hey, dude, you did a lot of self-snitching and a lot of self-incrimination. Look in the mirror. That's all.
Adam, what's up?
Hey, Loose Cannon, I'm here live on the No Jumper Show with Bricc Baby and Lush. Bricc Baby is requesting some information regarding your put on.
Hey, can you give us like at least 2 names from your put on and what block? I ain't never seen you at no meeting at Hyde Park, Horace Mann, or at 54th. When did you get put on?
Baby, when
did you get put on? I got put on in 2002. I got put out in 2002, nigga, on Eileen Street at June House. Nigga, you know what's up, nigga. Yeah, dead homie. So when you get put on?
No, you haven't, bro. You been in
man, cuz nigga Hillbilly was a part of my put on, nigga Killer Dave was a part of my put on, nigga. Oh, the Dead Homies. My first name was Baby Wild Bill, nigga. On the Dead Homies at Izzy Turn East Coast. That was the third nigga I squabbled. Who did you squabble, gang?
Nigga, I squabbled everybody.
Who? You didn't squabble everybody, bitch ass nigga. How? You would have went home fucked up.
Shut your buster ass up.
You didn't get put on, bitch. Hey, shut your bitch ass up. How you come up here with 30 niggas and none of them was from 60s, nigga?
Buster ass, hoe ass nigga.
Hey, how many of them niggas was from 60s though?
You ain't like that, nigga.
I'm hood, bitch. Shut up, bitch. You in Vegas, nigga. Come on, bro. Hey, nigga, I got more murders than you got squabbles, bitch. In the hood, nigga. Dead homies, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Nigga got more skulls than you got squabbles in the set, bitch. What? On the hood, nigga. Before, I got more skulls than you got squabbles. That's on my 4 babies, nigga. That's on my 4 babies, nigga. That's on my 4 babies. You ain't never got put on my.
I think we just unlocked a new level in self-snitching.
Yeah. On that note, hold on. Yeah, it got a little bit too hot for me. Let me turn this off. I got more bodies than you got squabbles, nigga. Oh, got more skulls than you got squabbles, bitch. I've killed more niggas than you done fought, nigga. What? It's insane. It's and that's why the Feds is like, go ahead. Feds got some shit on just like this, right? Listening to the wiretaps and shit. That might be a fun job for these motherfuckers. Think about it. If you're in law enforcement, that might be a fun job to have. You look just like this all day. You probably just got your feet up, chilling. You listening to the fucking the cell phones when they ring. You know what I'm saying? Oh, here goes Bricc Baby making a call. All right, let me see. This one in there. What's he talking about? Oh, shot a nigga yesterday. Oh, write that down. Oh, a drop off tomorrow of a pizza. Cool, pizza. Yeah, he's a delivery man all of a sudden. Cool. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh my God. It's not a hard job. It's not a hard job with these people. All right. Let's leave Bricc and the Big U topics behind for the rest of the day. Let's go to Diddy. So Diddy has a new superseding indictment. Wow. New charges, new stuff brought into the case, and he's like a month away from trial. That can't be great. That can't be great, right? When I saw this, I was just like, all right, I know one of the superseding indictments that came out, maybe it was like the first one. I remember there was changes in it, like they extended the window of like infractions, right? Like saying instead of like during this year through this year, he operated doing the sex trafficking alleged, behavior, and they extended it. Like no, we're gonna open up the time window that much further because they probably felt like they got more evidence and more stuff and more witnesses coming in. And so I remember stuff like that. That kind of feels almost like it's formalities, maybe, to put it, maybe that seems like that. Open up the time window. Every time we hear superseding indictment, I think people are looking for something huge, like, oh shit, a second Cassie, like, right? And there's some stuff in here, but let's check it out.
The third superseding indictment contains 3 substantive changes to the charged offenses. First, Count 4, which is, by the way, a new count. Count 4 charges an additional substantive count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion with respect to victim 2. Victim 2 was previously identified as a victim of sex trafficking in Count 1 of the second superseding indictment. And if you look at Count 1 in the second superseding indictment, which is racketeering conspiracy, it reads in part, Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims, including but not limited to 3 female victims, Victim 1, Victim 2, and Victim 3 to engage in commercial sex acts. In connection with the commercial sex acts, Combs provided the victims with, among other things, monetary payments, career opportunities, and payment of rent and housing expenses. Okay, so again, that was count 1 in the second superseding indictment. But now Combs is facing a new individual sex trafficking charge against Victim 2. And it reads, quote, from at least in or about 2021 up to and including in or about 2024 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Sean Combs, and then it says, recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, and maintained Victim 2 and attempted, aided, and abetted, and willfully caused Victim 2 to engage in commercial sex acts, knowing and in reckless disregard for the fact that Victim 2 was engaging in commercial sex acts as a result of force, fraud, and coercion. Nima, why do this? Why create this separate charge for Victim 2?
Jesse, the reason you want to create a separate charge for Victim 2 is because you have that and language. And again, I'm not saying this is highly likely, but it's a possibility. The government's saying that Diddy sex trafficked Victim 1, 2, and 3. Well, for some reason, the jurors think that Diddy sex trafficked 3, but not 2. You're going to get a not guilty on that count. So they separated it out, really out of an abundance of caution. So
Can I just stop you right there? What happens if the jury selection, jury instructions, jury, even though it says victims 1, 2, and 3 in this racketeering count, if you find that he sex trafficked either 1 or 2 or 3, he's still guilty of it. Couldn't they say that? Or you need this separate charge?
You can absolutely address this issue in the verdict form. Doesn't necessarily need to be split up in the indictment. For some reason, maybe there was just a different story with respect to Victim 2. Victim 1, we all believe, or at least I believe, is Cassie Ventura, right?
That's fair. That's fair. Yep.
I think, and then victims 2, 3, and 4 now, or witness 4, who's going to testify. We don't know who they are, and we're going to talk about it. I'm sure they want to remain anonymous or at least be identified by just their initials. So, to the extent that Victim 2 has a different story than Cassie Ventura, obviously Cassie Ventura was in a long-term relationship with Combs, spanning more than a decade. We've all seen the video from the hotel here in Los Angeles that CNN was able to obtain. Probably Victim 2 has a different sex trafficking story, and I think that's why the government, out an abundance of caution, wanted to separate her out. Let's say she or he was a commercial sex worker.
She.
Yeah, it's a she. She was a commercial sex worker.
We're at a point now where they got to do that. Is it a she or a he? Because he's gotten it all over the place. Thank God no fucking animals are coming yet, right? Allegedly. The fuck?
Wasn't necessarily someone that Combs was in a long-term relationship with. Maybe better just to separate her story out so she can tell it, and it's not.
And in order to get a conviction against them, why not include this at the second superseding indictment? I mean, they could have made that a separate charge. Why
wait
that
last question
for this one? Was there additional evidence that they look back on and say,
then we're gonna go,
maybe we weren't as clear as we could be? Why not just do it? I think it was at the beginning of March when the second one came out.
Yeah,
I think that's probably it. They're preparing for trial and they're saying, you know what, maybe we pled this in a way that we shouldn't have. And look, they're not just thinking about the trial, Jesse. They're thinking about the inevitable appeal that's going to follow if Combs is convicted. Obviously, he has essentially unlimited money. And the last thing you want is the Second Circuit or some appellate court looking at this and saying, well, this was, unconstitutionally vague, or the jury conflated all this evidence together. So I think just the best practice was, let's separate Victim 2 out. And maybe this evidence sort of came to light because, look, there's reportedly more than 100 victims. Obviously, the government's not going to put 100 victims on the stand. We know many of them have filed civil lawsuits. They're going to pick and choose the people they think are their best victims, right? The 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the case may be. There's other prior bad acts witnesses. So during their witness prep and trial prep, maybe they thought, you know what, Victim 2 has a different, separate story. Let's plead her separately.
I think.
Okay. All right. So definitely stronger or deeper than the example I gave of like what felt like a formality, right? Discussing things like separating it out to make sure that you can try to have convictions where others may fail. Like, and I'm going to get to the Cassie one in a second, which is probably one of the most beatable ones of all the sex trafficking victims, because we don't know the stories or have any backstory of number 2, number 3, number 4, so forth and so on, as far as the sex trafficking charges, right? Only a Cassie perception. So I'll get to that, right? But okay, separating it out, and then that second one of, it's not just about preparing for the attack, in this trial, but knowing that Diddy has so much money, so much resources. If you find him guilty on all of these charges, you better have made sure that this trial went smooth and ran by, the T as perfectly as possible, because the appeals are already in. Damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to appeal. He'll fight it forever because he has that type of money and resources and reach. And it ain't just some broke criminal sitting there going to the law library, reading a couple books, and then going back and trying to say, hey, I'm here to defend myself. I have a question or two about why the decision went this way. No, he'll have the same fucking Johnny Cochran top flight lawyer team fighting his appeals the same way they would be fighting leading into this trial, right? For his non-guilty verdict. So yeah, you got to prep for that. You got to look into the future, right? If you're the state, if you're the plaintiff, I get it. I like that thought right there. Now, let me talk about this. Watch what I do to the chat right here. Watch this. Drop a yes or no in the chat if you believe that Diddy was sex trafficking Cassie. Yes or no? Go ahead. I'm gonna bring some of these up on the screen. Okay, one yes so far. All no's. I got one yes so far. Yes, technically, based on the technicality. Ooh, this is pretty dominating as a no. Yes, not sure it wasn't consensual. Yes. Okay, a couple more yeses came in. I'll stop there, and I'm gonna go back to Jay. Y'all votes real quick, just that fast. I'm just gonna guesstimate it. Seemed about 70-30. About 70% no, 30% yes. Okay. You see what Jay is saying right here. She stayed over 10 years. It's not easy from the outside looking in to look at Cassie and say, because when we think about sex trafficking, I mean, I don't feel like Googling the actual classifications of it right now. I'm pretty sure there's different classifications of it, just like kidnapping isn't just kids, right? So there could be more classifications of sex trafficking that maybe we're just being ignorant to, right? But when I think sex trafficking, a consensual, long-lasting, 10-year relationship with all types of freak-offs activity, and we're walking red carpets together, and I bought you a Rolls Royce for your birthday, and all this stuff going on between Cassie and Diddy for their whole relationship that was in the public fucking eye, right? Nobody's going to classify that as sex trafficking from the outside perception, okay? So when you got these other victims, right? I think what people, and when I say people, and I use public perception so much, or the court of public opinion so much, the reason why I do that is because just like us here in the chat, the people that are selected for jury, the jurors, they're just regular humans just like us. They're not people that necessarily are well-versed in law. They don't pick a bunch of lawyers for the jury. It's no different than y'all getting selected for jury duty, right? You get the shit in the mail, you get an email, something like that. You got selected for jury duty coming up. You might land on a murder case. You might land on a kidnapping case. You might land on a brick through the window, brick by brick, bitch. You might land on that. Like, or reference myself too. Fuck it. Like, it's jury duty. Now, in these high profile situations, it's a deeper jury selection process, right? You know what I mean? And they even have to work together on that, collaborate. And you see that depicted, I think, in Devil's Advocate. Like, that was one of his first jobs when he got hired by the devil, Al Pacino, right? let me put you and see how you do a jury selection. This person, this old lady right there, now she's got a gripe. Maybe something like this relevant happened to her grandson one day. I don't want her to strike her. This person, right? It's the jury selection process, right? The jury that you end up with is important. Is it mixed with different cultures, different races, different beliefs, man, woman, all this? It matters. It really does matter. So those people, just like us, when they hear a story about victim 2 was got a text message from one of Diddy's handlers. Hypothetically, I'm making up a story. Got a text message from one of Diddy's handlers, and they flew her into a party, and she wasn't sure what she was going to be there for. She was looking for opportunity as well, a record deal, whatever. Next thing you know, she was put in a car. She was driven across state lines. I don't even got to use that as an example because she was already flown across straight lines. But she was then involved in some big freak off, you know what I'm saying? And then before she left, she was paid $10,000 and asked to sign an NDA to shut the fuck up. They're going to call that sex trafficking. They're going to paint that victim that will possibly or probably be testifying. And we're going to look at that person just clear cut like a prostitute. Okay? Clear cut like a prostitute. It's very hard, I think, for anybody that's on the jury, right, or us, to look at Cassie like a prostitute, or like somebody that just got flown in real quick across state lines, sex trafficking, fucked over some federal guidelines and broke some federal laws. And no, because they were a real couple. You know what I'm saying? They were not saying that he didn't break no laws with the woman, right? But shit, we didn't see it with our own eyes, but they're saying the video footage that they got their hands on that involved Cassie looked consensual. That's their business. That Cassie and Diddy wanted to allegedly do drugs, or Diddy got off by letting his woman sleep with another man, and she got off with, or he turned her out, or that's their business. You know what I'm saying? The sexual stuff. And when you have a woman that stays there that long, like what Jay said, and she's also benefiting at times from a relationship. Did you get an album out? Did you get a music video out? Were you put in these lavish recording studios to record? Were you introduced to all these different connections in the industry? Were you showered with millions of dollars worth of diamonds and jewelry and clothes and gifts and cars? Did he pay rents for you? Did he do this? Did he do that? Like, that's the side that Diddy's side is going to paint, because they are going to trash Cassie. They're going to go after her character. They're going to paint a picture of somebody that received all the pros of being around somebody of the stature of Diddy, and then something happened that made her turncoat. He stopped. He turned the faucet off. He broke up with her. He stopped paying her rent. She asked him for 30. This is what somebody said. That was it. Kanye said that publicly. Allegedly, she asked him for 30 million. He said no. Okay, fine. Here comes a lawsuit. So that's the picture that the defense is going to paint. So I get it. The superseding indictment better make sure that you got number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, all within these sex trafficking charges. Because when you get down to sex trafficking with Cassie, it's not going to be an easy pill to swallow for a lot of people. I'm just saying. D Hood Realist says, chat, Jolie said what she said. That's it. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Jay says, and did. Ryan says, spot on. Big Yellow says he flexing with that one. Okay, y'all fuck with me on that one. Okay. I'm glad that y'all see the point. And that's why I knew where I was going with the point, but that's why I used y'all feedback with that. With like, okay, I'll wait, Cat Williams style. Sex trafficking, yes or no for Cassie, and everybody, 70% of y'all said no. You know what I'm saying? So, interesting. Avis says DA wants Young Miami. I'm pretty sure any woman that's been around Diddy knows a thing or two. Right. All right. Let's close Diddy out with this recent video. I think this is recent. Shout out to the folks in the chat that sent this to me. Once again, the Checks and Balances group chat for the exchanging of news with me included. I'll be in there with y'all on the way. So I think this is recent. I'll just say this, man. it's one thing for a Jane Doe or a John Doe to come out and talk about like, yeah, he did this, he did that. I'm not trying to say let it fall on deaf ears, man. You could be a homeless man on the street and have a plight. Listen to anybody. You might learn something, or they might be telling some truth that you need to have within your information. But when you got celebrities coming out saying this person did this, because celebrities, I guess, not only do they have more of a public ear and their own following, but they have more to lose, right? For example, me. If I get out here right now, I do a podcast this morning, and I do this whole approach of saying Diddy is guilty, and I don't say allegedly, and I put all this shit on him. You know, let's say Diddy and his team actually see this podcast. Let's say it does 5,000 views, right? You think Diddy wants to sue me? You probably get way worse publicity for suing me. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, I ain't rich. I don't got it. What you gonna get from me? You want a bear brick? No problem. They cost about $800 to $1,000 a piece. I got that for you if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? I could afford that. I got you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you're not gonna look at me as like from a public perception standpoint, from a publicity standpoint, from a money standpoint. You know, like what do you get from the Sorry It's True podcast in that respect versus a Terrence Howard? Okay, different story now. Like sue Terrence Howard then because you feel like he's an actor. Actors got this whole image of being rich and whatnot. Like he got more to lose. So that's the thing. When somebody that has more to lose, at least as far as we think, right? Those people should be a little bit more close with their words if they're operating in a safe place. People are more apt to say harmful shit if they're operating from a safe place, if they know what they're saying is true. That's what I do a lot. Right? I operate from a safe place. In my opinion, you could sue me for anything. You could sue me for fuck shit and frivolous shit all fucking day long. Been there. Right? But one place that I operate from is a place where, go ahead, you want to get into discovery with me? I could, a boatload of proof and evidence and shit that would, oh shit, he knew that. I didn't know. Oh, he got that. Or, oh, I didn't even know that that came across. I didn't even know somebody sent him that. Like, yeah. I'm not going to get up here and accuse somebody of something or put that or have that type of talk, especially if I'm directly going at somebody, unless I could back it. You know what I'm saying? I just say all of that to say Terrence Howard, if he's speaking from a safe place, then shit like this just draws more ears. All right, Dan, that was like a mini topic real quick.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, you know, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me with.
I mean, this isn't about me questioning a man's sexual preferences. It's about the picture being painted of somebody's behavior that makes you look guilty. You know, like lining people up, allegedly presenting to be a heterosexual, and then bringing them in for one thing and then duping it into something else, right? Like if I'm presenting myself to the world as a heterosexual man and I have the clout and the money and the stuff going on around me to justify like, hey man, come rock with me for the weekend. I want to get some work done. So the Terrence Howards of the world are going to get on a flight. And you end up there, and from what he's saying, he ends up sitting and niggas just staring at him. I don't know if that's the neck movement that really happened, but I'm like, yo, we gonna work? He's just still staring at him. Yeah, we gonna work. We gonna work all right. Diddy, wake up over here. Oh, wait, what's up? Take that. What's up? Mother, are we going to work on this scene that we was talking about? Yo, I'm gonna fucking leave if you don't stop. Oh, no, we're gonna work. Let's pick this up next week, Playboy. I got you. Yo, we sat there for 8 hours in the stew and we didn't do nothing. Oh, my bad. I didn't tell you he's trying to fuck you. Not my story. Blame Terrence. Not my story. And then you wonder why, people run around with the stories of like allegedly Diddy and Meek and this. It's wild. It's wild, man. Like, who knows what's gonna come out in this trial, B? And this is why everybody thought like, yo, Hollywood is finna be scared as shit. That's because the man just probably been around a lot of people and seen a lot and maybe done a lot. You know what I mean? And people, we're not gonna act like Hollywood doesn't have this reputation already. It's not just Diddy. Like shout out to the GOAT Dave Chappelle that tried to expose some of this stuff, even putting certain men in dresses a lot, and Hollywood exploiting certain areas and going after certain demographics and pushing certain imagery. And come on, like, we're not stupid. Like, we get it. You know what I mean? But there's just a lot of people over the years. You don't got to be Cat Williams. I feel like Cat Williams is a person that people will look at and they'll take with a grain of salt. They'll be like, you was accurate on some shit, so we fuck with you. But he had a time where he felt like he was fucking gone and lost. The fucking footage of him fighting on stage and people thought he was drugged out. And the other video came out, him rolling around on the floor, fighting with the kids. And he just was in a space. His reputation is just like, listen to him because he's unfiltered. So he's willing to say shit and he might tell us some shit. But at the same time, Cat Williams, you're not on 10 with your credibility. You know what I'm saying? What's Jay said? Jay said, Pimp C exposed the industry years ago. Then he died. You see what I'm saying? There's so much. That's the topic that we're on right now. There's so much exposure of the industry of you got to do this, or it's such a deep topic. Like, people have over the years have folded in the secret society group. It's a secret society. All we ask is trust, right? They fold in the Freemasonry lanes within the industry. They fold in the different rooms. It's a lot. That's a week-long stream to get into all that, the industry being exposed talk, why this person may have turned up dead, all the way up to one of the GOATs. If not, some of y'all say the GOAT, Michael Jackson. People still say there's reasons why he died that could have been related to like his masters and stuff like that. It's a lot. It's a lot. And you just can't turn your eye to a Dave Chappelle getting up there and saying, I'm dead serious. Like, they tried to force me into a dress and I kept telling them no. Or for a Terrence Howard to come out here and say like, yo, I think he tried to fuck me. Like, and I'm telling you, there's another piece of that interview where he just continues about men giving up their manhood in Hollywood. He continues. Go pull it up. Go watch it for yourselves. There's just a lot of those. Might be hundreds of those, and not just from just regular Jane Does and John Does, from celebrities that have been in the mix. It's just like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Once I made it, but now that I'm here, this shit is wild. Like, all right, appreciate you, Jay. Jay is active today, yo. Jay is active. Hey, look at everybody's active. I'm having fun with today's stream. All right, let's move along. I counted this before only because it irked me. I'm gonna do it again. The lawyers that try to speak out on Gunna's behalf, and I don't have no vendetta or issue with Gunna. I have no personal thing towards Gunna at all. I just don't like the overtone of the message that makes people confused about what this is supposed to be. Okay.
He would do anything to get Thug. The target was on his back. Wasn't on Gunna's back. I don't know why Gunna was, honestly, I don't know why Gunna was wrapped up in all this anyway.
I mean, they had really to get him to cooperate. That's why they went and got him. They went and got him. They probably looked at his record, his shit, and was like, if we get him, he'll probably at least give us some information. We don't got much on him.
He didn't cooperate at all. I mean,
he didn't cooperate at all.
No, he signed what he had to sign to get the hell out of there, but he didn't cooperate. He didn't testify. None of that happened with Gunna. I didn't think people should have been giving Gunna hell, and I still don't.
So as the defense team over there for Yak Gotti, you don't see an issue with Gunna saying that this is a game.
I'm not happy that he said it, but you know what? I can explain that to the jury. And his lawyer knows
that's the justification.
To the jury.
There you go. Good
and we did over and over again. Max and I, everybody, we all explained it to the jury. And you know what? The jury understood. So what Gunna didn't hurt us at all. Didn't hurt us at all.
Wow. That's a heavy statement.
It's
no,
true.
it ain't.
Yeah.
No, it ain't.
I'm saying it because it's true.
Right.
He didn't hurt us.
And you played in between the whistles, so you know. You know.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
Look, that entire trial, that 2-year trial, nothing Gunna said ever came up before the jury. So
That's
how
cool.
can his
That's cool.
plea have hurt me?
Wow.
Have hurt Yak?
That's
It
cool.
didn't.
So do you think Thug
It
should
helped
not be
their public opinion.
Yeah.
They spun it.
right?
Right?
Do you think Thug should not be mad at Gunna?
Oh, I'm not going to tell anyone how they should feel.
Okay. I mean, well, I guess
I mean,
that
I'm
is a
not.
heavy question. Yeah.
I'm not.
But I mean, I'm wondering if. All right. Well.
I'm just not.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not like that answer, but that's where I'm going to stay.
Yeah. No,
I'm not going to tell anyone how to feel about anything else.
Right. I respect it.
That's an age thing, man. I've learned.
No, that was the best answer you can give as it related to Young Thug. And you're a lawyer, so you're pretty sharp with your answers. Okay. And once again, you're dealing with a guy that's just, this is me, man. Like, that shit just don't work with me. It just doesn't work with me. There's a lot of people it works with, but it won't work with me. I don't think that lawyer there, number one, I said this before, I'll say it again. Number one, he doesn't understand. And he's probably not supposed to understand. Doesn't look like he comes from anything or in any involvement that is well-versed in the understanding of those codes. In yesterday's stream, I opened up a question about plea deals and the way you can incriminate people that are fighting charges that you're fighting. You plead out before them. You know, similar to the Gunna situation of yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Is it why as hell again? Yes, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Thug is like, and that's why that lawyer couldn't answer like the way that he probably wanted to publicly on camera when the Young Thug question was asked of him. But it comes down to this. Once again, this is for the lawyer or anybody that hears messaging like that and gets lost in the sauce. Fuck street code. Logic. A snitch or snitching is not determined by the outcome of the action. It's really that fucking simple, but I will continue to explain briefly. If I tell on you, if I incriminate you, if I say something to the authorities that can hurt you, even if the authorities do not use it, even if it ends up not being used against you, even if it doesn't hurt you at the end, even if you're set free, doesn't change what I did. I don't get to say I didn't tell because you didn't get in trouble. It doesn't even make any fucking sense. It makes zero sense. If I'm running around with my team of me and three of my partners, and we all steal cars, right? All three of them go to the authorities and say that ARP is the one that's doing it. We got nothing to do with it. He's the only one that's been doing this shit. And then I go to they skate, they walk away free. I end up going, I sit down, I don't get bail, and I sit there until my trial rolls around 9 months later, and I beat the case. Totally scot-free, no probation, no nothing. Totally beat the case. I come back outside and say, all right, y'all, since I was found innocent, we all good. And I trust y'all still. Let's get back to work. No, I don't fuck with them. It's fuck them for life. It's fuck them for life. Are you kidding me? That's why Young Thug tweeted what he tweeted directed towards Gunna. Stop acting like we fuck. I don't fuck with you. You just signed to me. It's money. I don't fuck with you. I can't trust you because of what you said to that judge. Period. Period. It's so fucking simple. You know what I'm saying? What I do, the outcome does not negate the action. I can't walk into the precinct and say, yo, they are doing this. And the detective says, all right, thank you for the information. And he never goes to make an arrest. And that changes me walking out that precinct as if I didn't do what I did. I did it. I did it. It's just nobody got arrested. How many times have I on this podcast used the same example of King Yella? I don't got no personal vendetta towards King Yella. I've watched him and followed him out of the whole Chirac scene over the years. But the moment he gave that explanation, I said, ooh. He said, how am I snitching? Nobody got locked up behind my words. Ooh. Nobody got to get locked up for that's not what changes the status of whether you told or not. Fuck street shit and snitch shit. As kids, same thing. I didn't get in trouble for mommy, but you still told on me, motherfucker. Like, it's insane. And that lawyer thinks he's talking to a bunch of idiots with that whole analogy. And you're not. You're not. But you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. That lawyer obviously has favor for Gunna, and the Gunners of the world, the people that are in those situations, they will make their lawyers aware of how detrimental their reputations are in the public. Whether it's, hey, I'm walking around with a snitch label, you know I could be killed behind that. You know I could lose endorsements behind that. People could stop fucking with me. My family could walk away from me. My career could be damaged, could be ended. The lawyers are going to come out there, and you want another one? I once again, I use this example because it came to mind in yesterday's stream, and it's no disrespect. It's Boom did the same thing, right? Remember the footage of Boom that came out? He was secretly recording his lawyer. You saw the sort of way his lawyer was talking for him. Oh, no, it's not that. It's not because you're trying to help the person's public perception because you know some of the things they may have done. Yeah, it's going to be stamped a certain way. The lawyers try to help their clients out all the time like that. Oh, my client? Nah, it wasn't even used. Didn't hurt him. Wasn't brought into trial. And I look at that and I say, you're probably 1000% correct. What does that have to do with what he actually did in the action? You can't answer that. You can't. You won't. Or if you try to, then you're trying to pull one over on the wrong person. Just stop. People stop doing that shit. And when people do that, just check them. Check them for it. Don't ever let your mind be conditioned like it ain't snitching unless somebody gets in trouble. That makes no fucking sense. None. Unless somebody gets in trouble. Insane. This is a snitching stream. You know, we cleared Bricc Baby's name. We kind of cleared Big U's name from telling for the moment, both those guys. We did some Diddy shit. There's no telling from Diddy's side in that respect, right? There goes the Gunna thing comes back again. Let's go to this. I didn't follow this case enough, but I'm watching the buzz. Let me bring this up. My bad. Yeah. I didn't watch this case. I watched the documentary, I think, on Ralo. Was it like Mr. Dog Food? Was it Traplo Ross that did it? I watched this documentary. But even since he's come home, people have played with his name. People have played with his name. And I don't know enough about the case, and I never read any paperwork. But people just continue to talk like this. And I think Ralo is kind of like in the same spot as T.I., where you just got to continue to address it. You got to continue to show your proof, and you got to continue to check people that play with your name. You know what I'm saying? Like that's T.I. went through the same shit. But look at this shit from Wack 100. And, you know, chat, y'all can help me out with this. I don't have this paperwork right here that he's about to talk about, but y'all can send it to me. Like, I'm not, I don't know, but
we had to expose him.
I saw a lot of people when I was talking to Ralo saying, like, ask him about page 8.
Page 8 and 9. We got to work. We just ran a thing. I had Seti Nash. Seti come on here defending him. I said, I'm going to send you something.
Okay.
You can pull it up. If you want,
Won't you pull up to go to the last 100 show clip, Steady Dash, and we made him read it. He said, oh, shit, I didn't read this.
He said that the lawyer, against his wishes, suggested that he might be down to snitch, but that he didn't.
The lawyer said, can we clear the courtroom of these people due to the fact of the proffering and all the numerous people that my client gave information up on that are prominent known people in the urban community, his life will be in danger. It's in the paperwork. The lawyer is saying my client proffered against a bunch of different people that are well known in the urban community. So can we clear the courtroom when we read these things? It's in the paperwork, page 8-9. I just sent it to you. It's in the work. Ralo, we had to expose him.
I saw a lot of people when I was talking to Ralo saying, like, ask him.
So I don't know. If y'all want us to pick up this story, because he's not facing any charges anymore, right? So it's not like we would be staying up on his docket or anything like that. So I don't want to. I don't want to come from that angle at all. I'm just saying, like, if this continues to stay with those type of legs, y'all tell me if we need to follow the story, and if so, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I obviously don't do the same thing with Big Meech, same thing we just did earlier in the stream. I don't say that they did this unless I read it myself. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But speaking of proffers, we saw that earlier in the stream as well. People, that person that came out in that video that we watched and said that Loose Cannon has a proffer agreement that's already out. I want that. Please, if anybody sees that one, I want that. If that exists, if that's true, send me that. Let's continue. What's this? Why y'all send me this? This is going to be 2 minutes. Why y'all send me this? I know one reason why it interested me, and other than that, so BlueFace was ordered to pay $123,000 in defamation in a defamation case after claiming he hooked up with Soulja Boy's girlfriend. Soulja Boy reacts. So Soulja Boy tweets, "Send me that money, boy. You balling. You got it right." BlueFace is in jail. That's crazy. But anyway, Soulja Boy's baby mother files a lawsuit against BlueFace for defamation of character. BlueFace calls out Soulja Boy and says he hit his baby mama. I ain't never told a lie. Okay. So oh man. The biggest thing here that's funny is niggas getting sued allegedly for lying on their dick now. Like if he did, like I'm telling y'all, suing is just a new thing. Like you want to know the ramifications for lying on your dick, you know, from the era that I'm from, everybody just looks at you like a clown. That be what happens. Like, you're a fucking clown. It's just something that men don't do. Not supposed to do. I shouldn't say don't do. They're not supposed to do. Yeah, I took that down. Word. You feel like, why would you lie on your dick? You was a clown. You did it, you did it. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, but for lying on your dick, you get 100, almost 125 grand. Now, defamation. I don't want to read this paperwork, but how that is defamation, I could see if she's in the industry and I got all these multiple men, blah blah. Now I'm getting those accusations, and I'm really not that type of woman, and blah blah. I don't know. Soulja Boy, look like you probably backed this play. You're obviously happy about it. It's just like when Rick Ross was very, very proud that his wife won a legal dispute versus 50 Cent. Go get his money, right? Y'all play close to that shit. When it doesn't go your way, y'all be on the internet crying and complaining. Soulja Boy was on the internet crying and complaining about that lawsuit that Plies put on him for copyright shit, right? He was crying and complaining about that. You didn't like that. And then here you go on the internet the other direction now. Yeah, go pay that money. Which one is it? I can't with niggas, man. You got niggas lying on their dick, maybe. You got niggas over here. 1 second they like, oh, you snitching and you telling Plies because you took me to court over a beat and some lyrics. But now you over here laughing. I pay that money because you lied on my. Which one is it, nigga? Like, that's weirdo shit to me. That's weirdo shit. If you're gonna be pro-civil, don't call it snitching one day and then turn when it works in your favor. That's weirdo shit. That's weirdo shit. You know what I mean? And then even if you feel that way, you don't need to tweet it because y'all street codes be like, don't be fucking playing over a man that's serving time. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Are y'all moral enemies? I don't know that, look, fucking BlueFace and Soulja Boy to be moral enemies at that level. This ain't no fucking Supreme and 50 Cent. Y'all was talking about boxing for money. So to fuck him over like that while he's in jail is just, I don't know. It's just, and I'm not a defender of BlueFace. I'm just saying, it just, fuck this topic. Like that quick vent and fuck this topic. Yeah. So Soulja Boy's, he's just pure entertainment for me. That's it. He's just pure entertainment. Me personally. Real quick, people, before I get to this movie shit and this song shit, I want to say for y'all real quick because we're about to wrap our topics up. Actually, we are done with our topics. So now this is just for people hanging out on the live stream. Did y'all see this? This is kind of incredible. This is a wild stat. NYC is the wealthiest city in the world with 350,000 millionaires living there. What? Let's pull up the 2025 stat of what percentage of the people in the world are millionaires. Is it still less than 1%? 1.5%. Approximately 1.5% of the world's population are millionaires. So if you earn $1 million, if you're a millionaire, you're in the 1.5%. You deserve a big salute, okay? But in New York, there is 350,000 millionaires alone. This is why they say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. If you get money out of New York with all that cutthroat but there's a lot of job opportunities, of course, in New York. But what's going on in New York? That's why a lot of celebrities, they want a house in LA, they want a house in Atlanta, they want a house in New York. They're hubs. But sheesh, 1 in every 24 New York residents is a millionaire. What kind of stat is that? What kind of stat? If you are on the train, just in one of your cars in New York, and you just look down the car, you're looking at a bunch of millionaires. That's crazy. And there's only 1.5% in the world of millionaires. 1 in every 24 New York residents is a millionaire. New York City is home to 744 people worth at least $100 million and 60 billionaires. The combined total of wealth of the city's residents is greater than 3 trillion. It's out there, people. Be motivated and go get it. I guess that's one of the biggest points to that shit. Be motivated and go get it. That is wild. All right, quick hip hop album moment for y'all and a movie thing, because y'all know I'm a movie head. Question for y'all. Once again, we done with our topics, people. This is just streaming mode for y'all hanging out. I want to know what has the best movie ending twist of these three, because I consider these three's endings and their movie twist to be within the top 10 of movie twist in movie history. I think these three are in the top 10, but I want you to put these three in order. So in the words of Sheik Luch, I'm about to set you up like Kaiser and walk straight at the end. You're talking about a guy who was looking at the verbal, his talent and his speech and communication levels allowed him to read the fucking wall and in flight make up a story with the pictures in the article that was on the wall while he was being, I guess, off the record interrogated. And the person that you're looking for this whole time is he. Is he? And then poof, he vanishes. He really, his hand and his foot and everything, like his hand was done so well. He did it so well and so much that you gotta like forcefully put it back to normal. Like, okay, that twist. Next up, Whew. Primal Fear. Tell her I'll sorry about her neck. I got you. Don't worry about it. Hold up. What do you mean her neck? I thought you lose time. How do you know that you just yoked her up? I've been waiting for you to figure this out, Marty, man. Come on, man. You knew that this... Really? You didn't know this whole time? I've been dying to tell you. I didn't know watching the movie. Fuck no. Hell no. Classic. Classic. Number 3, Twist. I didn't know it was the same person. Really? The same person this whole fucking time? This whole time? Like there's little hints, I guess, like little flashes of him, I guess, that they do when you watch it back for the second, third, or fourth time. The little cigarette burn hint that they gave you as far as the job that he did, right? But damn. How? Like, he wanted to live a different lifestyle through a different type of personality, and his insomnia was one of the results of it. They painted that picture of him early in the movie of, you know, falling asleep and moving around so much for work, whatever. You wake up in this city, wake up in that city, and then that one time he wakes up on a plane and he's next to the personality that he created. That's crazy. Ooh, Jay, you messing up. I only got 3 up here right now, Jay. Chill out. You're right though. But you're right. All right, let me see the order. Ryan got, well, hold on, I see before. Let me scroll up a little bit. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I see y'all. Okay. Chat says, I say Usual Suspects, then Fight Club, then Primal Fear. It's not easy. Avis Ahmad says Primal Fear, Usual Suspects, then Fight Club. Ryan says Primal Fear, Fight Club, then Usual. So all of those is different so far. He's so dope, right? He did a great job in Red Dragon too. The Hannibal Lecter shit. Yo, that's, I don't know. If I had to choose which y'all on the spot, because I asked y'all to do it, so it's only fair that I try to do it. I'm gonna take Kaiser for number 1. I'm gonna take Kaiser Sose for number 1 because the way he manipulated that whole interrogation and then walked out of there like that is just incredible. Yeah, and I don't think that there was any hints during the movie. There's no hints of it. So that to me is just like the mega, like, wait, what? We're fully falling into his character, and then at the end it's like, you're Kaiser Sose. Like, oh shit. I'm gonna go with that as number 1. The reason why I'm gonna go Primal Fear is number 2 is because, once again, I don't, when he, damn, there kind of was a hint when they tested him, when they had him like in the cell and they cut the camera off and everything. He did such an amazing acting job on that. So it's just like, did he, what, did they give us any good hints though? Nah, because I feel like storyline, what they were doing so well was just painting a picture of how we feel and our own beliefs about guilty or non-guilty based on somebody's mental condition. That's what you had us following. Morally, do we feel that this is guilty for what he did because he was being abused, but his mental condition created, just like Fight Club, a secondary person, some bipolar schizo type of stuff. You created a secondary person to protect you. And when you're driven to a certain level, that person appears. Damn, Primal Fear, I gotta go number 2. When you want to know why I got Primal Fear and I gotta put Fight Club, although the classic twist, as number 3, is because it's too much has happened in the movie where it's just like that makes you go back and be like, oh, come on. Like, for example, when they were fighting in the basement, you know, they had things that were in collaboration with each other that makes you feel like it's impossible the whole time to be one person, right? And they give you big hints, like the girl that they fucking, I said they, right? It's like they give you hints, you know, of how they mistreat one mistreats her, the other one's fuck. Like there's hints of it, certain scenes, but like even the end, like of shooting himself and then you come back alive, like so that's because of some of the rightish to some of that stuff. It's dope as fuck, but these two are more realistic, and they have less hints. More realistic and less hints. That's why I'm going to justify taking these two over Fight Club. That's why. And speaking of movies, I have a challenge for y'all. This is the last thing we're going to do, and I'm going to get up out of here. This album right here, Royce da 5'9" Street Hop, right? I have a challenge for you guys. Pull this album up on YouTube. Just type in Royce da 5'9" Street Hop, right? And type in full album, right? This is my challenge to you guys. Speaking of movies, I want you guys to listen to 3 songs that put you inside the movie scene. It makes you visualize what's really happening. Royce da 5'9", I give credit for having some of the most visual story-based songs ever. Now, when we think story-based, we think like Slick Rick, and you know what I'm saying? Children's story and whatnot. And there's a lot of, you got Jay-Z did one. Was Jay-Z's Meet the Whoever? Jay-Z did a great one. Cool G Rap got one. The album that Papoose was on, Roots of Evil. He's got one. It's like a 10-minute song where the beat changes like 3 times. Some mafioso shit. There's just certain songs that make you see the movie like, yo, this is incredible. Like, I'm there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pull this up, and I want you to listen to 3 songs. The first one I want you to listen to is the first one is On the Run. Okay. On the Run, he starts he does the song in on the album backwards, where the first song that comes on the album is On the Run, and he's on the run from something, right? And the way he paints it in the lyrics is incredible, right? Then there's a song after that called Murder. And it paints the situation of some street shit that's going on and a setup, how he possibly got set up, but he committed a murder while he was being set up. That's the song that comes second on the album. So the first was just like he's on the run. The second song is like, how'd he get on the run in the first place? And the third song I want you to watch, you don't even have to listen to the song. You can watch the video. He made a video for it. I don't even know if it's still on YouTube, but it's called A Part of Me. And Nas got one too, rewind. But yeah, you're right. KX. Part of Me. He got a video for it. The title itself, Part of Me, I'm not gonna spoil it. The title itself, the way he puts this song together, you are there with him in the scene. You are there with him in the movie. And then when you get to the end and you realize what he means by a part of me, you're just like, oh, it's some horror movie shit. Like, oh, that's my challenge to y'all. Go on YouTube, type in Royce da 5'9" Street Hop full album. Listen to, in this order, On the Run, then Murder. Those two are together, right? But listen to them in that order. On the Run first, and then Murder second. And then totally separate, has nothing to do with those first 2 songs. Just listen third. Part of Me. And then drop in the chat or even shoot me a tweet of like, yo, those 3 songs, right? Ryan knows what's up. Ryan knows what's up. Sean said, I appreciate that. I'm telling y'all, I'm not steering you. I'm never gonna bring no movies or no music up here and have y'all come back to me like that shit was trash. Like, why you make me watch that movie? Never. My track record is strong as fuck as far as things I tell y'all to listen to or things I tell y'all to watch. This track record is crazy. All right. Fun stream today, man. Fun stream for me. I enjoyed today. I like when I don't feel like I'm rushing during the week. We're hour 30 in. We've done streams longer than that during the week still, but I get to hang out a little bit more towards the end, go over shit like that. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get back later on this afternoon, probably after Hitman's event. Everybody tune into that pay-per-view. Let's all support that stream. Him versus Hustle turned up yesterday. That's a real grudge at this point. That wasn't promo what happened between them yesterday. So it is what it is. We're gonna see how it plays out on stage now. So I'll be back here tonight with that. I'm gonna tune into that stream starting around 3 p.m. Okay. Go to Hitman Holla's Instagram, click the links. That'll take you to the pay-per-view. All right. So I'm copping that for sure. What else? Once again, the checks and balances group chat, I want to try to have it done or at least created by the end of this weekend. It might start off with anywhere from like 5 to definitely less than 10 people. It's going to start off like that. But I need that arena where we're cross collaborating and I'm not reading 30 different threads that have some of the same stuff in it. Spend 15, 20 minutes like Soulja Boy in this thread, 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 Soulja Boy in that thread. I'm like, okay, I really want to hear about this. Let me look into it. All right, yeah, we'll break this down. But damn, we all saying the same thing. I need it centralized, man. We're gonna cross check each other, checks and balances, which is dope. So it's gonna be a fun thread, I think. All right. Enjoy y'all mornings. I'm about to hit the gym. Health is wealth. Remember all them damn millionaires in New York. So if you are on the run, go get to the bag. The money is out there. And go get a piece of it. Make sure you get your piece of the American pie. And like I said, I'll probably catch y'all later on this afternoon. All right, y'all.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry Street Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without my thing, still got a gun.